Hey guys, it's ViewMasters Reactions, and we're back with Talks Machina, episode 47, the second seal, the end of Ford's journey for now. I was going to say the end of Ford's journey, but there is still more journey to be had. I was kind of surprised, to tell you the truth. I did not think we would end Ford's journey when I feel like we're so close, but then we talked about it, and I guess they're right. What do? Do we keep going down this linear path of Ford's saga when we could be sidestepping things we could be doing for the other people that's nearby, or things that we were like in the process of doing and then stole a ship and had to get sidelined? So I'm actually thinking this is the way we should go. Let's tap into some other people. I'm assuming at some point things are going to, like, you know, cross paths. Some of Bo's journey might cross some of Nott's journey or Ford's journey, or paths will cross, I have to assume, being in this world and coming from all different regions. We've even had people say, like, oh, well, I came from this and that. Either way, we still have this, you know, happy fun ball, and now we're going on Nott's journey. I figured I'd wear Ford's shirt one last time. I know I wore it all week because in my mind this was like epic Ford crap happening, obviously. But now, having sidelined it, I guarantee we're getting Travis. I don't think I saw who was on. I just went right to the end card. It popped right up in my face. I didn't see anybody. Last Talks Machina was episodes 1 through 46. It was like a group one. It was great. Everyone was there except Ashley Johnson. So let's just jump in. Let's see. I have to assume Ford is there. Maybe not, or Sam Riegel, because it looks like we're going in the direction of Nott. Everyone was saying wear your Nott shirt, and I already downloaded the new thumbnail, and the new thumbnail is Sam Riegel doing like a goodbye from Incredible Hulk with the backpack on, looking over his shoulder, looking sad. We're getting Nott. I'm loving it. It's a nice change, I guess. We've been so long on this path. I think we said in the live stream that it was like 12 episodes, 13 episodes, full 4-hour plus episodes, 12 of them. That is like 40 or 50 hours we've been on Ford's journey. And that was pretty much since Caduceus joined us. We went to Nicodranus, and then we stole a ship. So let's find out. You guys want to see more of what I do, full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons ahead of what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you only see on Patreon. The link is at the end. If the link doesn't work, it probably won't. Monetization has been shut off. It shuts off the links in the description below. Click on Patreon. Our Patreon exclusive of every episode. We're doing Vox Machina now for season 2. Season 1 and 2 up in full unedited. Peaky Blinders, Person of Interest, Doctor Who, Legend of Korra, Avatar, all these shows. Hundreds of shows. Hundreds of movies. All in full on Patreon. Go check it out. If not, Talks Machina. Episode 47. The Second Seal. My voice, this is the first thing I'm reacting to. And for some reason, when I wake up,
litter box?
I guess it's normal for most people.
Is that what you said?
Litter
Why
box?
is that supposed to make me crack?
Litter box?
Litter box isn't going to make me crack. Say something disgusting.
We got Travis and Taliesin. Interesting. Taliesin.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen.
We got Caduceus. Caduceus did talk about how we were fans of getting away from the water, I feel like.
For episode 47, brought to you by our friends at Crit Roll Stats. Thank you, Zach. Nice. It's been 42 days since the Mighty Nine were last in Nicodranus. 42 days.
42, wow, okay.
42.
Yeah. Month and a half. Yep.
Shit.
Ford rolled his 30th Nat 20 this episode.
Hey.
Well, there we go.
Wisdom save against
They just explained
Psychic
exactly
Screech.
what I was saying.
Did you say 30th?
Month and a half, real time, we were away.
3-0?
Psychic Screech?
Yes.
You got to get Dustin Diamond to play the, you know he stabbed a guy?
Yeah.
Dustin Diamond, Screech from Saved by the Bell.
I don't know any creek that doesn't contain a
I
bend
think
or
he
two,
passed away.
Stabbing a guy, that's...
I'm pretty sure like a year or two ago, Dustin Diamond passed away,
has
like in
rolled
the pandemic.
30...
I'm sure.
It's good to be here with you too, by the way. This is exactly how I wanted to end my evening.
Yes? Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I needed this.
You needed this?
I did, yeah.
All right, well, Matt has rolled 31 natural ones.
He
and
died
69
February 1st,
natural 20s.
2021.
Nice. For
So
a total of
almost 2 years ago
100
to the
critical
day,
rolls this
Dustin Diamond
campaign.
passed away.
Wow.
100 critical rolls. Daniel.
100 critical.
What say you to this news?
I wish I could see
What say you to this news?
100,
His
Henry?
throw things were great.
Yeah, look at the
Jesse got them.
enthusiasm.
They're
I love it.
usually
What?
for when you lose your voice or
Scaring the
something.
crew
Like, they
every
clean
single
you right
time you
up.
say their name and they're not expecting it.
Just because I have, look, I yell a lot around here.
I think it's because right before I go to
Travis,
sleep,
Yes.
I
Trash
smoke
and
a huge
drivel
bowl.
is our first
It
question
helps me
tonight.
sleep.
Numero uno.
But then I guess I
Trash
wake
and
up
drivel.
congested as shit.
What do you regret more? eating that durian candy or everything Ford's done in the last 20
Trash
episodes?
and Treble.
Durian, man.
Eating the durian candy or everything Ford's done in the last 20
only because the rest of the adventuring party is still alive.
Yeah.
I mean, how am I gonna get rid? No,
Despite
that
everything
candy.
you've done.
Yeah,
My
that candy
goodness.
was some bunk ass soap tasting.
You guys were
Windex.
talking about how
Your
normally how I
face.
don't
like to
skip the
ingest
durian
water.
candy.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Oddly
well, I mean,
enough,
I could have heated
I just
everyone's
ended
morning,
up
but we all
watching
know
it
I
before
have
the
to
live
taste
stream.
that thing before I.
Where did that come
ejected it.
from?
Well,
Marisha
it's from
said
Sam, right?
it
Yeah.
smelled
the,
of
the
rotted
curator
flesh.
of odd.
And then
normally
people
get
in the
like a
live stream
durian
said it too.
pastry after
Maybe
like
I've never had
BlizzCon.
it.
Like there's like a little pastry. There's a little like bakery that does that kind of thing right by in
She
Anaheim.
compared
like
it
once a year.
to the
once a year, you
star-shaped
just hurt
fruit.
yourself.
Aren't they called like?
See, I looked up the fruit
Star fruit?
afterwards, and you
I
could
feel like
run
it's
like a
called
chain
star
through
fruit.
that thing, and you
I've
have
had that
a mace.
before.
I mean,
I
that
think
thing
that tastes
is
delicious.
not benign.
No, it's a weapon.
How long was it in there?
I
How long
think-
was it inside you?
I think it was like 6, 7
How long
seconds.
was it
All it needs to
inside?
do
really?
is business.
Yeah.
Well, some
Doesn't-
some
doesn't
say
take
that's
much.
some say that's average.
Some say that's a lifetime.
Some say that's average. Taliesin,
Yeah.
Kate Huffman wants to
The
know.
dick jokes.
Stop laughing, Travis. What was Caduceus's motive for casting divination and checking into Vandrin? Did he simply want to give Ford some peace of mind, or was it something deeper than that?
So I love divination. I've been wanting
I
to
love
use
that
it a
we
little
got
bit
those
more, but I don't
questions
want to
so quick.
stop the game every day to be like, here's my once a day divination. You know, I just want to kind of every now and then just
He set up some
prod
tea.
Matt
He
for
was
something
like straight
interesting.
up meditating
And
with divination.
It was Caduceus is a bro, man. And he was just like, I feel bad that Ford's hung up on this guy. I'm kind of, and like they're very specific about what kind of questions you can ask. And like I couldn't have asked where he was. Like that answer is not available.
right, yeah.
So I was like, what question can I ask that's going to make Matt Mercer really angry that he has to answer?
Yeah.
And so I was like, under the
How
rules that I've
crazy.
been given for
The thought
divination,
process is great.
I can do this.
I didn't know how
So
far,
this was kind of
how
a,
deep
like-
it went, but it was
Yeah,
cool.
it was just kind of him trying to be a bro.
Pretty tight.
It was him like that way. Now when it comes up, I'm going to actually have some good news for you.
Yeah.
Whether you choose to believe me or not is a
That's
whole
right.
nother.
How many times have you used divination?
Twice.
Okay,
I was gonna say, I don't
did-
remember.
I didn't remember the other time.
The other
I don't
time
remember.
was where? What's a safe port? What is a port where we can find something?
Right.
Like
Divination.
Did we use
okay.
divination at
Where we
all
were
in the
looking for
previous
Dark
campaign?
Tower.
'Cause
or
I didn't know what you were
deciding if
doing.
we should
I
go
don't
or not.
remember
Okay.
divination. I don't think I had even.
read
I
it.
don't remember it at all. When he did
That's
divination, I'm
right,
like, what
but
is
I don't
about
think
to
they ever
happen?
actually used like the spell divination.
no, it's a weird spell and
Vax
it's
would pray, is
very.
that what you said?
Yeah, like
can
you
overuse
could
it
like go
really,
visit the
really
Raven
easily.
Queen's temple. Like
I don't.
shit.
No.
Yeah, a lot of good it
remember
did.
that happening.
It's one of those things that I don't want to use all the time, but like
Is it a
it's
straight
nice.
channel to your?
They're talking about Vax and Vax.
Yeah, it's an answer one of the following questions, but they're
We
very,
talked about it during the live stream for a while.
questions are
I
things
just
that I
saw
can do with it that are very specific.
Episode
but
3 of
they're-
Vox,
The
and
answers
Vax
are usually pretty vague.
What was the
Died.
best season of The Wire? You know, there's
Best
like
season
some
of The
stuff.
Wire.
Third. Wow,
Watched
no,
all
no,
5 on
wow.
the channel.
Ooh,
I would
wow,
say
now I'm hurt.
Third?
Man, that's
Third.
Man, I really
Honestly,
liked
I was
the
leaning third.
Amsterdam one.
Amsterdam
Is that
was
three?
really no, it might have been 4 because I think
Amsterdam.
3 was 3 the
2 was the docks.
2 was the docks and 3 was
3.
Amsterdam.
3 was Amsterdam.
I think
Right.
3 was the
Dude,
best, but
Amsterdam
Amsterdam
was
me, dude.
fucking off.
The docks was.
When you get to Taliesin,
I
they'll
enjoyed
show
the
you some
docks.
shit
Everyone was
you
telling me
did.
the docks
No,
are one of the
well,
least
I mean,
liked
it seems like a
seasons
definite.
as
It's
a
an interesting
whole.
spell so long as you
I
don't
enjoyed the
overuse it and you
docks.
don't like if you have a DM that's down to give you
A
something.
lot of
You can't really
characters from
overuse
The
it
Wire
though, because necessarily
are in
you're only
person
going to get a
of interest
limited
right
amount
now.
of information.
Like
right?
a lot.
If we're on like a
Lance
15-day
Reddick,
voyage,
The
I'm not gonna
Wire,
use it 15.
connection.
Oh, I understand,
Vox
yeah.
Machina
You know.
voice.
You're like,
they
are
don't
we
know
there
what
yet?
I
Are
do.
we there yet?
It's an
Are we there
unintentional
yet?
connection.
Okay.
No, I will flip this fucking boat.
Yeah.
How crazy would it be
Travis
if
and
4 years
Taliesin,
ago you told them
TMOTCX wants to know, do you
that
find it rather
Lance
funny
Reddick
that
from The
a
Wire would be
mystery that Ford
voicing
tried to solve
a
regarding
character?
Vandrin's status, Caduceus solved in 6 seconds just by giving Melora a divine phone call? Do you find it rather funny?
Yes.
I know, I was waiting for it.
Could have asked, man. I could have told you.
Yeah, I didn't find it funny. I was just
He doesn't know
glad.
yet, technically.
I was glad. Yes. Travis, the player, was glad that you did it. I didn't even know that was something that you could do. I don't know how I would ask either because I don't think
How
I
would you know?
Or
Yeah.
Ford knows that you have that ability.
That's my
the other
thing. How do you know to
I
ask? That would
realize
be
that I
like
need
if
to
you go,
learn-
dude, why don't you just ask?
there's
I
a
can talk
great deal
aliens
more
are
about Caduceus
real.
There's
than
a
I
lot
currently
to
know
learn
about
How the hell would I have
Caduceus.
known you
We
would
all
know
need
that?
to
Caduceus is learning a lot about you guys.
Do I just have to ask crazy
I know.
questions? I mean,
Everybody's
maybe
worried
just
about
ask a
me
bunch of
being able,
crazy
and
shit.
this fucking bastard over here is just gonna start cooking us up and putting us in
That looks
food.
really loud.
Let me show you
This
how
might
I
be
destroyed the
red
Justice
line.
League.
I know.
Yeah.
First warning sign, right?
Turn you guys
I'm
into
gonna kill us
meatballs
all.
like
Yeah, I'll
IKEA
bet.
did with those horses.
Looked like it was redlining.
Oh God, it's so true.
Daniel remembered that controversy.
Oh, I was there.
You're gonna be the demon barber.
It's a stigma. Well,
Some
Why do I
street.
feel like
not
the
if it
quality
sticks
has-
around long enough. Dickymon wants to know, Travis, we've seen Ford
Dickymon.
struggle with his confidence and acting as a leader throughout the whole
was
campaign.
really bad quality.
Orly said
It
that
got
he knows who the real
degraded. I'm putting it
captain
up to
of the ball
1080.
leader will always be. Does Ford think he earned that respect as the captain? And how does Ford view himself as a leader now?
Oh, it looks so much better. I don't know
think-
why.
I
It got
think he
downgraded to
has
standard depth.
come to terms with the fact that people are looking to him for answers when they are on
Dickymon.
the ocean, in in the ball leader.
Dude, the ball leader.
He is the captain of
Dude,
the ball
the
leader.
ball
No, I don't think we
leader.
do. I think we just let that ride, brother.
Oh Lord.
Let it ride. He's not the leader, though. He's not the leader. He is just a participant in this adventure, and these people have been nice enough to protect him as
I
much as
understand
he
what
has tried
Ford's
to
saying.
protect them, and they've allowed him to
That he
search
doesn't
out
want to
this
be
thing
the
that,
leader. He doesn't feel
makes
like
it
the
hard
leader.
for him
It's a
to move
group
on
effort.
without.
But you got to have
Right, he
somebody
really wants to know
be the
about the
leader.
history. He
So
wants
by
to know,
title and name, he
you know,
needs to be
where
the leader.
Vandrin
Everyone
is.
looks at him like the captain.
And
I
I
mean,
was
at
really
least in
hoping that
that
there might have been more in
aspect.
that latest vision that you know
If you
showed
don't have a
him
leader,
more about Vandrin. 'cause
pirates will
without it,
start
it's like, well,
thinking
that's
shit
it.
ain't
Like, I
right
don't know
or
what else
something.
to
Not us,
do for
but
now.
the
And so
pirates.
I am actually interested and excited to sort of sit back a little bit. You know, make sure we get into Nicodranas safely and everything, but then to especially as a player, have the spotlight off a little bit.
It's nice.
Yeah, I
as
can
someone who had to pull that weight early on as well in the
Yeah,
previous campaign.
he was
Bro,
running
yeah,
40,
'cause you
50
took
hours.
the
I
reins.
think he
Oh,
doesn't
this is
want to be
happening.
the leader.
Jeez.
Yeah, as the veteran,
As
the
much as he
veteran
might
player,
also
Matt
be
relied
like,
on you
that's
pretty
not
hard
right.
in the beginning.
I think he
Yeah.
doesn't
We were all
want
like, is
the
that gonna
pressure and
happen to all
stress
of
of
us?
it all.
Oh,
I would totally
Yes,
be
it
down.
is.
I wouldn't want to
So
do
yeah,
it because I
ready
feel
to,
like I was
I'm ready to
being selfish
maybe
or
have my
taking
actions
over when everyone else has their own stories.
Not affect everyone so
But I would love
drastically, but just be able to
running
go
with it as a
with
captain
the
or
flow a
leader.
little bit more instead of like dictating.
Yeah, be someone that's just there making.
I wouldn't be like rude or mean
making
about
a
it,
choice
but I
like
would
the
love
rest of them are giving
yeah,
your vote
captaining
rather
a
than
ship
like,
and having a crew and everything.
forced into that.
I like in the game the party dynamic that people are deciding
think
together, right?
He's
And if
looking
there's
at it like the captain or the
a
leader
feeling that
is
because you're
the
the
boss,
captain,
and I
that
get it. And
you
yes,
have
that
the
is
final
kind
say.
of the case.
It's not really
But
one out of my
it's
game,
also
just
just
as a
a
personal player. I
role,
like
a title.
when Taliesin
It doesn't
brings
mean
his
you
like wisdom
control
and stuff
Bo.
into it. I like when Marisha or
Just a
Laura
job.
bring in their perspectives, and fucking Sam's hilarious, and Liam's always up to some shit.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm looking forward to seeing Sam take the reins a little bit.
Sure.
I'm
Yeah,
especially with this.
absolutely.
I very
Yeah,
much so.
absolutely.
Especially
Yeah.
since
Yeah.
Sam
I think
is
this will be a good,
reckless nut.
A good change
Not.
of pace.
Yeah.
This candy thing works so good.
Play around with your new powers.
I'm not
with,
kidding. I want to have one every morning. It
Yeah,
literally,
I'm
like,
gonna
totally,
create
like,
little
I have
water
no
spouts and be like,
wheeziness or
really?
anything.
All that for the fucking
I
thing
could
that you
breathe
can
like a
already do?
champion
Control
of
water.
the
Jester can already
seas.
do?
Yeah.
I mean, like our
Not that I don't
our
appreciate
thing
it.
is weird, yeah, and again, like that's the thing about clerics is the minute we touch land, I'm not gonna be able to do that anymore.
That's not true.
I mean, I
do you
can
mean?
do it, but like every day you kind of decide on a toolkit. And the
yeah.
minute we hit land, I'm going to drop that toolkit, and you're not.
I understand.
So
Okay.
suddenly you're going to be the only person
Yes.
in the group who can do that.
Yes,
Unless we
when
are
we
like
are in the
Go,
desert,
good
I will
point.
be the
That's a
only
good
person
point.
that looks at that ability and is like, I can't fucking use that.
yeah, or that there might be underground water you can pull up or stuff like
Pull
that.
it out of your goddamn skin like
Pull it out of the
Magneto.
clouds,
and
like
Wolverine.
y'all
Honestly,
fly.
yeah, that's what I was
Pull water
thinking.
out of the clouds.
Rick and Morty
Shit, bro.
recently
Yeah.
just had an episode
Damn.
where the guy could control water.
Taliesin.
And it was only the
Eldrazi
water. It was like a
Outlaw
specific
How
thing.
guilty
like
slash
only the water
amused
and
do
other
you
people.
feel at
or
having
at that
rendered an
level where you
entire
could suck
encounter
the water
obsolete
out of your
with a
body.
single dice roll?
It'd
Yeah,
get crazy.
baby.
Guilt is for humans and mortals. I don't feel guilt.
Yeah.
No.
Fucking amazing. Put it on a t-shirt.
I was.
shit.
I mean, like.
Guilt is
Wisdom
for
is
mortals.
dropped.
I know that there's been some conversation about whether or not it should have been able to do that, and honestly, I would have been okay with keeping the standard difficulty level and just making it possible because they were running so close to the rocks that I didn't.
Yeah.
That I just like ran them into shore, which I think should have worked too. And I've still rolled well enough that it fucking happened. But like, yeah,
Matt did
that's
not
what
look
the game
pleased when
is,
that
and
happened.
that felt great.
That was a blast.
See,
Great.
that's
I mean, it
that's
was
the wisdom I'm
awesome.
talking about.
It is
you
like
have
the
ability to look at
greatest
those scenarios
feeling
and think of
that
it,
you need
in a
not
way that
even
most of the
deal
rest of
with
us
it,
aren't thinking.
'cause they
Even in the
were
very
out
first
to
game
get
that
us.
we
They
had,
said
when you
firsthand.
froze the damn fountain or whatever, I was like,
I'm so glad everyone
oh,
It
remembers
just
that.
ended so
are
quickly
you
without
kidding?
any.
That was so fun.
You were a superhero in that moment. I knew who Taliesin was.
Well, I was,
or
and like,
has
I
been.
specifically was like, I think I figured out how this puzzle, because I've broken a couple of Matt's puzzles before in the past.
Oh, really?
I remember like one map he had out. I'm like, this is a giant skull, motherfucker. And I saw him do the.
Yeah.
We're heading to the brain now. You know, he's like, fuck.
Keep that shit to yourself, Taliesin.
But yeah, no, I mean, like, I enjoyed
know what
watching
that one
everybody.
was.
I was like just watching the countdown, going, I'm not going to solve this until everyone has had a minute to try and just kind of hanging back and
It
waiting
was good.
for.
I
It
remember.
was fun.
Yeah. I've only listened to that thing a million times because
know,
I
yeah.
stalk Liam and Sam on.
It's one of those
Wednesdays
things where
and
you
Sundays.
kind of have to
Yeah.
think about
that's
all
fair.
the
That
outcomes.
seems like a good idea.
One
those are
unthought
peak times.
outcome led to instant death.
Travis, Banana Tits wants to know.
No, it's not.
It is. Yeah, it's Banana
Yeah.
Tits.
Banana tits, it really is.
Oh, good.
But it's tits with a Z.
Good.
Tits with a Z. That's classy.
Taliesin, I hate
That's
to say this,
class.
but you have to leave.
That is all the
That's
time we
class.
have for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Well, anyway, Banana Tits wants to know.
Banana tits would like to know.
What were Ford's thoughts after seeing Caduceus effortlessly capsize the approaching ship via control water? Is he excited or intimidated by his newfound power over water?
Oh, entirely excited. Not intimidated in any way.
I wouldn't think, yeah. I think
until you realize
Ford is
the
still
full
going to be.
horror or potential that something may have, you are excited about it.
Yeah.
Right. Until that dog bites you, there's no reason to be worried about it. Yeah, I'm pumped. I mean, and what a great display of it. I think. So I don't know a ton
Great
about D&D.
display
I
of
have
it
limited
is
playtime
correct.
to my friends here. I had only seen it wash a half-elf captain that later got killed, push a couple boats around, and then you fucking used it to capsize the ship. So I'm going to look into the descriptive terms a little bit more and try and understand more completely its full capability.
figure it out a
'cause,
little bit,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was really good usage of it. So.
It's got some. It shouldn't have worked, but yeah, it's got
Really?
some interesting. I rolled really well.
Oh, okay.
It had like a 1
So
in
it
10
should have
chance
worked.
of
It
working.
should have.
Oh, that's right. You rolled
The
a 30.
odds of it
No,
working.
you rolled a 16.
You
I
should
rolled, I
say.
rolled a 15 and it
You had a
needed
30% chance.
It should have honestly been 25. But
Because
yeah.
when you say it shouldn't have
Yeah, he
worked,
was-
I
he was
feel
being
like
kind.
Matt
You
threw
bet.
us a bone,
Yeah.
or you
Caduceus.
got by on a
my first
technicality.
use of percentage die, I think, in the entire
You
time
could call
I've been
it
playing
luck.
online. I've
Oh,
not
really?
touched
Call it
percentage die in
fate.
so long.
Call it love.
Forget that they
Call it
exist.
Good moment for that
Wow.
crashing Mets.
Where the fuck did I put the percentage die?
pirate battle scheme.
Yeah, no
I
good.
really wanted a ship fight too. I'm a little bad.
I kind of
so
wanted
you
the
do
ship
feel
fight
guilty.
too. That's why.
No, I don't feel
It's
guilt. I
almost
just
like
wanted to fight
it
things
was
on
too
ships.
good. One of those things where like it's too good. Even though,
He was more-
don't get
he
me
was-
wrong,
he was,
I'm happy we're past it
human
and we're
more.
going
I
on
wanna
an
see
Knott's
their eyes.
journey.
Go cold.
And the fact that the
Mortals.
Tabaxi and all
Wow.
these other
Please don't quote me on
dudes
that.
all these
It's
other
too
pirates
late.
would have
It's-
probably
That's got to be all over.
took
by
everything
now.
we
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
and
100%.
maybe
Taliesin,
fought us.
This question is really interesting. It's from Carno Lesbian. Caduceus racked
Car
up a
not
fairly
lesbian.
significant body count when capsizing the pursuing ship.
Car
Is he
note.
bothered
Car
by
note,
this, or does
lesbian,
it all
is that-
fall
is-
under his
is that what we're
circle of
doing
life
again?
mentality?
I think that's what it is. The most seen
It's D&D.
name
You'd have
in all
to
of
make some
Talks
allowances.
Machina.
I think if you were
To me,
a real,
I feel like that's got to
this
have
were
the
a real
record.
thing, there would definitely be some interesting emotional consequences for some of this. But seeing as how we're in the game and we're playing it, he is not bothered by this. He is definitely.
14 dead.
I mean, like, I'm not. Oh God, is there a better word for it? I hate this word. He's not a zealot necessarily.
14 died,
Pacifist either.
but
He's not a pat. Well,
it's one of
I was
those
thinking there's a
circumstances
great-
where
if
what would
anyone's
have
ever a
happened had we
fan
not
of
done
comic
that?
books
I
who's
mean,
read
it wouldn't have probably gotten
Ultimates.
too
Yes.
violent.
Do
Maybe.
you remember when Thor finally showed up and like
got killed
Thor
weird
had refused
sometimes.
to join the Ultimates several times and finally shows up and is just beating down, like destroys like 9 spaceships.
Yes.
And the Nick Fury line is, "I thought you were a pacifist." He says, "I am a pacifist with a really big hammer."
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no, it's they're just things in the way of his mission to save something greater.
Yeah,
and,
that's what it is.
and death is inevitable.
You don't want
and
to die.
something's especially inevitable.
Get out of
if
my
you're trying
way.
to
Don't sneak out of a
stop
cave
one-
and
somebody
try
on a
to steal our
mission
shit.
for the Earth itself.
Death is,
Did we have to kill 14
especially
people?
inevitable when
Probably
you're
not.
trying to kill me.
Yeah, I mean, it's
There you go,
there's
Dan.
nothing
Yeah.
more natural than like being in that interplay. So this is a perfectly reasonable way to die, is in a violent altercation.
To that previous question of being intimidated
Everything
by
looks
Ford's
good.
new
I just-
ability or
I'm
not, I would say he
double-checking
was
all the meters.
intimidated by the power. I think he might have been
I hope it's not
partially
too loud.
intimidated
I feel
by
like it's
Caduceus, because that was
kinda
pretty
loud.
nailed.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, like, and he definitely. It's also why Caduceus is not freaked out by everything you're doing.
Right.
He doesn't necessarily have a good head for good and
Yeah, I
evil.
feel like
He's got a good head for natural and unnatural, but like not for.
Right and wrong.
Well, and a very particular type of right and wrong. But yeah, when it comes to death and life, that's a very like, you need everything running, man.
I need more. I need
A
more. This
very
is not enough. I
particular
need more.
type of right and
I need a
wrong.
lot more.
I mean, he's a monk.
I really
so he
dig
has a
that
lot of
Caduceus
ideas of
came
how
on.
people should be that are based.
Like, I was trying to think,
entirely
I thought
on,
maybe
like, utter lack
Sam.
of experience.
because of the fact.
Yeah.
But Caduceus makes a lot of sense,
you
dealing
know,
with the way the episode ended.
You can see how Ford would be very, chill in his eyes.
I mean, there's a couple
Even though
reasons
you're
as
scared
they're
as fuck.
discussing.
Where'd that book
Caduceus
come
makes,
from, by the way?
as I'm
It was
hearing
just
it
here when we-
unravel,
it came from
makes
the mail.
perfect
I can
sense.
say that.
It was a gift. Shout out to the
Oh my God! Yeah.
the devilish rogue too for this stay turned. I don't know what to even call this. It's an
Stay
action figure. It
turned.
says on the
Doll.
side. It's a doll.
It's
Devilish Road.
It's a doll, and it's so
dope.
sparkly,
me
and
see it.
yeah, it makes a perfect
Oh my God.
makes a perfect thing to put on top of a fireplace.
I love it. Stay
good at
turned.
repelling.
It looks like an old.
What I'm excited
What
about.
action
for-
figure is that? That looks like an
for
old
fashion,
Vanilla
yeah.
Ice
It's
action figure
It
or
is?
something
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
goes.
One of those
Okay,
old
okay,
90s
okay,
like
I'll look
pull
into it.
string kind of action.
Danny, you know
I
this
don't-
works.
you
I
wouldn't
get
call
to
him
read it
really an
first.
action figure.
What I'm looking forward to
know.
about Ford's
like Backstreet Boys or
arc,
something.
maybe
In sync, it might be in
possibly coming
sync.
to a close.
My sister
is
had a
we
lot
don't
of
have
like
Travis on the show. as
boy
much.
band,
man.
Good.
those kind of things,
God,
boy
there's
band
a lot
related.
more people I want to talk to.
Seriously. I mean, I just recycle the same bullshit
Stay
every
tuned.
time.
I love it.
Pretty close.
That's what I would buy. I would legitimately buy
like your
a
shirt.
Brian
Thank you.
Foster
I
Stay
just
Turned.
found my
I do
PlayStation
like
shirt.
that shirt too. Yeah,
I,
it is PlayStation.
that's what it is.
Well,
I
let's give
literally
away
was
some
like,
free
it
shit,
looks
shall
like
we? Let's do it,
PlayStation.
man.
The
Yeah,
buttons on the
it's gift
remote
of the
control.
week.
I was like, there's no way that's what it is. That is awesome. Taliesin shirt
You were down.
is
It was
all
good.
the
Gift of the
PlayStation
Yeah.
button. Give of the week. Give of the week.
Our winner for Campaign 2, Episode 47, was sent in by D. Jones /
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Disaster Jones on Tumblr.
Huh?
Let's take a look.
Getting a little Lady Deathstrike with those movements.
I couldn't see. Max,
Bitch. Punched it. Oh, this
I
is.
love it so much.
I love it. See, that's short and
You
sweet.
know Bo has done that exact thing hundreds of times. Hey, let me open it up.
She was
It's
about
short
to,
and
She was
sweet.
about to like.
I
yeah,
could watch it
then,
100
yeah.
times. Some
Hey,
of those
congrats
are
to you, D.
extremely
Jones.
long,
You
and they're
have
all
won
fun.
this.
They're all good. But sometimes they're so long and
Show the
dragged
people
out.
at
It's like
home.
it's almost like
you know
like
what this
its
is,
own
Daniel?
little story, which isn't a bad thing. I kind of like the gift being short and sweet though.
gonna show you
I like to rewatch
right
them over and
now.
over,
Are you trying
like
to open?
countless
Oh,
times.
It's a Yasha bust.
Yasha Buzz.
Let me take it out.
Cool.
This is so cool. This packaging is really cool. You
How
don't have
heavy
to
is it?
actually destroy it. Like
I kind of
Back
want to
in the
get one
box
as like a
to your
paperweight.
fiance's character.
Yasha has a great bust, and this is it.
Is there one for every character?
That's a cool gift of the week prize.
And it is not
A
it is
little
not
highbrow.
light thing. It is a weapon.
No,
It
this
is
thing
not
is heavy.
a
You
light
can
thing.
kill somebody.
I honestly, that's all I wanted to
Use it
know.
as a wine topper.
Paper
If I
wait.
hear a weird noise in the middle of the night.
wine
I'll-
topper.
Throw it in that direction.
Is that what
Follow
it's
that with
also
my
used for?
fist
Because
and
I could use
throw it
that
in that
definitely.
direction.
I honestly, I'm not even kidding you. I need some sort of
She's
paperweight.
like,
I used to have like this really heavy set of dice that was like gambling dice,
also,
not critical role dice.
We're giving away the
not
Yasha bust to
Dungeons and
celebrate
Dragons.
Ashley, her
And
Yasha playlist
I
that's
didn't lose it.
available
It
now on
like got
critroll.com.
funky, and I
Yeah.
threw it out when I
nice.
cleared out my room.
Playlists have been great.
And I
I
didn't
haven't
realize
heard
how
it
much
yet.
I
I'm
actually
excited
used a
to-
paperweight.
Let's move
When I
on.
have like mail or
Once I
letters,
tell
the
you
cats
to
knock
submit.
shit all over my desk.
Your gift.
I need one of those. If they, I mean, nothing against
Taliesin.
Yasha, but I want to get like
Frapp
Bo.
2, 3, 4 once
maybe
in a while.
not.
That's a lot of frapping.
Yeah, that
Just,
is.
I don't know. Bo,
Caduceus
not,
is a very
and
insightful
Jester
character.
are my
Do you
go-tos
think
with
he has picked up on Caleb's occasionally
adorable
darker motives for
trinkets.
his actions? Does he think of the book as a tragic gift or a strategic gift, or just because they're friends?
Oh, it was just because they're friends, and Caduceus is also aware that everyone has motives here, and he's going to need everybody to kind of, at some point, he's going to need everybody to just get behind him. So he's trying to God, it sounds so.
I've said
mercenary
this
when I say it
during
but no,
more
it's
recent
that thing of,
episodes.
like, I'm supporting you, and I'm going to hope that you're.
Caduceus might be
I'm going to continue to do what I can to
favorite
make your life better and more comfortable
character
in return. And I'm going
to
to
hang
need your
with.
help moving at some point. I'm going to need your
If
help.
I was to like
Then you
hang
pick me
with
up from
somebody,
LAX.
I'm going to need you to, yeah, like you need LAX.
I
friends.
really dig
Everybody needs a friend to
Caduceus.
pick them up.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't want to
LAX.
be
I
Caduceus,
am not that.
but I
just to
want
set the record
be
straight for
around
everyone. I am not.
Caduceus.
I
Brian,
will
you were
not
the yin
pick
to
you
my
up.
It's just too laid
I will
back
not pick you up. I will not
for
help
me
you move. You know what I
to
will
be-
do? I'll listen to your fucking
But I want to
sad
be
story.
with him. I want him to be.
I ain't
with,
gonna
I
help
want
you
I
move,
want him to be
though.
my
Drink
best
your
friend.
booze, right?
I'll drink your booze.
Yeah.
I'll
But,
drink your
and I
booze.
will also
I
say
gotta
that-
get a
that-
Caduceus
yeah,
shirt.
that Clay
I keep
doesn't
saying
think
we
that
have
his-
one shirt with
he doesn't
Caduceus,
think anybody's
and it's a
motivations are
group
particularly
shot.
dark right now. He doesn't have a negative opinion of anybody in the group.
Really?
No.
That's good. Okay, good.
Is it
Thank
because
you.
his are darker, so he doesn't view theirs as dark?
That's
Because
good.
his are so dark, he's like, well, that's not dark.
No. Although that'd be really.
I don't think that's the case, in my
if Ducey
opinion.
doesn't think. People
I
have
just
a-
think
He likes everybody.
ulterior
how he
motives,
explained
then
earlier
yeah.
how he killed
Gary
14
Vee.
people, but
Gary
you were
Vee.
in the way and
You mean the
he
guy who
needed
can
to
read
get
people's
something
thoughts?
done. I feel like he doesn't look at that as dark. I think he looks at it as like,
Taliesin?
If you
It-
start
it
to
had to
just
happen.
like belly fly,
Sorry.
go to sleep, go to sleep.
Taliesin, you have one piece of glitter on your face, and I'm
Do I?
not going to tell you where it is because it's adorable. I want it to
I
stay
look
there.
back that way.
I didn't see
No,
it.
no, 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 no. Yeah.
I don't see
All right,
Like
Travis.
disco ball.
one piece of
God
glitter on his
phase
face.
3
Now I'm gonna
wants
be
to
looking
know.
for it
God phase
all
3.
day.
That's a lot of God phases to go through.
God phase 3.
Four.
Oh, that's a
Ford
long
tells them-
question.
Now this question is not what we would call brief.
Not
Okay,
brief,
I'm not gonna
long.
look.
But it's
I saw
great.
right away.
It's
Let's
a
hear
great
it.
question.
Let's listen to the great Brian.
Face is so distracting.
Ford tells the Mighty Nine that one of his motivations was the hope of seeing more visions of Vandrin. His immediate goal is returning gesture to her mother and seems surprised at Bo's disinterest in her own family. How much are Ford's overall actions driven by a desire for a connection with family? Is he starting to see the Mighty Nine as a family to him the way that Vandrin was?
Good question. Definitely.
Yes.
Very motivated by a lack of family. Yeah. Grew up in an orphanage. Probably has thoughts on the parents that, for whatever reason, didn't have him around as he was growing up. Is probably.
I like how he worded
envious of
that.
people that do have.
You don't want to say
parents
abandoned in
that
case, I guess.
Either care,
even though it kind
care
of
about
is.
them or maybe even that have shitty relationships with their kids, just because it's something.
Yeah.
But he totally views the Mighty Nine as a family, right? I think people in that situation, they tend to gravitate to the people that they're enjoying in the moment, and that becomes the family that you choose.
Chosen family, yeah.
Of course, right?
Yeah.
And he's definitely done that because there's worth there. He feels needed by these people, and he needs them. And I think, like I said in the game previously, this is the most excited he's ever been about like life and what the future holds. Even though there's
I would
some
agree with that
crazy,
based on
unexplained
the way
shit at the
everything
possibly at the
appears
end of
to
it all.
us.
He's not thinking about that. He's just thinking about what's next and actually enjoying himself, which isn't something that he's always done.
Yeah.
So it
It's
plays a
funny
big part.
because if I had to list everybody,
How long
Ford
has it
might
been
be
since you
my
guys all
least
been together
favorite.
now? It's like 3
And I
months or
don't hate
something?
any of
How long
them,
has it been?
so don't
Something
take
like
that the wrong way.
What would Ford be doing
It's
right
his
now?
journey
If-
What do you mean 3
is
months
so
since we've all been
intriguing,
Since
but I'm
99.
scared of it,
How
the
long has it
outcome.
been?
Like
Like,
I feel like
like,
he could
what would he be doing
accidentally,
right now
unintentionally go
if you'd never
dark
met
or
him?
lose control.
Oh shit.
He
Well,
scares me
I
the
guess if all
most.
the events had transpired, and he had never met
Caleb,
Jester,
too.
and then
Caleb's-
never
I love Caleb,
met the rest of the Mighty Nine.
but I
think
feel
would
like he
probably been
scares me.
journeying north up towards the Solstice Academy to try and figure out like, how come I can do this arcane
Yeah.
stuff now that I couldn't before?
Yeah.
And I would imagine that they would probably be like, here, come in, we'll explain it to you. Clank.
Yeah.
Shut the iron cage and maybe throw away the key. I don't know.
You would have been sent to the front.
Yeah,
lines,
like what if they're
Oh,
like,
yeah, or weaponized.
we've been
yeah,
waiting
something
for
like
you.
that.
They imprison you and
probably.
study and test
We
you.
can burn the orphanage down. I mean,
Let's
that's
burn the
still an
orphanage
option.
down.
I am not opposed.
I haven't burned an orphanage down in D&D in years. That's great.
Yes, but how long has it been in real life?
It's January.
I was
still?
waiting for
It's
Travis to
January for a
crack.
couple more minutes.
Look at Travis.
I got dark. Sorry.
Can we take the younglings out first?
The younglings.
Well, that's
Honestly,
what he means.
usually they're excited to help.
Okay.
Yeah, they're excited.
As long
to
as
help.
we're
Usually they're
recruited.
excited
Haven't
to
you seen
help.
Annie?
It's a hard knock life.
No, if that happened in any, but
It did in the version I saw.
A hard knock. Miss Hannigan.
the theater survived.
Thank you,
was
Mrs.
a-
Is it Hannigan?
Taliesin.
Hannigan?
Yeah.
It's
Distract us
Hannigan,
from where
right?
that
Not
joke was
Hannigan.
gonna go.
Hannigan.
Answer this question.
I've seen that movie
Shriek the
1,000
Mighty
times, and I'm
Ones.
questioning myself.
Was Caduceus
I
embarrassed
know
or
every song
ashamed
by
to
heart.
admit that he can't read very well, especially to a bookworm?
Shine
like
it
you?
at the top of the Chrysler building.
He's not really a shame-based creature.
Yeah.
No, he's just never really taken to it. He can read all right. He's just not. It wasn't really his thing growing up. It wasn't something he did for fun.
That's something interesting.
He had siblings for that.
I've seen that in movies and TV a lot. Somebody
And, yeah, it
hides the
he's-
fact they
he's
can't
not-
read, but we're never taught.
He has a particular
I
strain
get
of intellectualism, but it's just he's
the
not
feeling of being embarrassed
really
about it. I've never not
particularly
been able to
interested in
read
the
that I can
world
remember,
outside
but I
of his
feel like
immediate perspective.
if I was never
And
taught, I
he's-
wouldn't be.
He's changed a lot in the last
I feel like
couple
I'd be like,
months, but
fuck you.
only recently has he really been excited by the notion that there are things that are happening beyond his immediate field of vision.
Oh,
So,
wow, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he was very into his garden and was very into the work he
That's
did
exactly how I
Didn't really
put
relate
it.
to it. Why know
Taliesin,
it?
you are a man of many brains.
Buried there.
Yeah, I want to know what's
In that garden?
I
Yeah,
wanna
it's like
know
You wanna know
I
why the
understand
garden is
reading
this
is
way?
like
I would, yes, I
pretty
would love to
basic.
know.
You should ask.
I mean, in that world, maybe not. But most people would
what's
expect
my
that you
mother's
should be
name?
able to read, I guess.
Mother's name.
But if
Mother's
you
name.
I
didn't,
can answer that too.
I'm
but
gonna
no.
I
create
wouldn't
a
be
whole
like,
other
you don't
guy
know how to
now.
read?
Give me,
What the hell
give
is
us
wrong
one
with you?
name
I'd be like,
of
oh,
one of your family members.
all right, there must be a
I can
reason.
give you the one that I've already given.
No, I mean, I know that
I mean,
one.
he's good at
remember
other
what
things.
my friends
If he
say
was like a
in game.
complete
my-
failure
you
at
know my
everything,
dad's
I'd be
name? 'Cause I
like,
can
dude,
tell you my
what have you
dad's
done
name,
with
'cause
your
I've said my
life?
dad's name.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll say it at the same time.
Arsenio.
Cornelius.
One, two, Cornelius.
Cornelius. Yeah.
Wait
Cornelius.
for him to count, Taliesin.
1, 2, Cornelius.
Playing the newlywed game over here.
1, 2,
Cornelius Clay
Cornelius.
sounds like a Harry Potter character.
Doesn't he?
I finished the 4th book.
Hey!
really?
I
It's
finished
just getting,
the 4th
just
book.
getting crazy.
Oh my
now.
God.
I'm on the 5th book now.
Which is the 5th book.
It's great.
Now you get to deal with angsty Harry.
You can see. You can see.
Is that
why-
the
why-
Phoenix
why
Order
it
of the Phoenix?
deserves a
I've
cult.
only seen Harry
It's got a
Potter
lovely cult.
one time each. I remember the
Travis.
Chamber of Secrets,
Cootie Patra
Prisoner of
wants to know,
Azkaban,
Ford
Goblet of Fire,
has been expressing
Order of the
great
Phoenix,
wariness towards his patrons' motives.
Shallow
Does he feel any sense of
Hollows,
devotion or
Sleepy
indebtedness
Hollows,
to
Shallow
Uk'otoa,
Hollows.
or is it just fear?
Were 2 parts, something like that.
It is
I can't
both.
remember all of them.
He
I'm
certainly
missing
does
one.
feel a sense of debt towards the entity that has granted him with the ability to do this shit that made him not just a normal half-orc, you know. that
Sorcerer
was
is one, the
relied
first
upon for
one.
having a strong
Sorcerer's
back
Stone.
and, you know, shipping things, you know, hard manual labor. I know, you're shipping, right?
Is
I
shipping
know-
things hard manual labor,
I know what
Danny?
that means.
You're doing it right.
Shipping.
You're
Yeah,
doing it right.
shipping.
Always.
Always be shipping.
Yeah, so he wants. I mean, he wants to. I certainly don't think he wants to piss him off because I don't think he has any concept of what that would be like. But at the same time,
When
he
we see
doesn't
Brian's
want the end
hands,
game that's been
we might be
shown
about to
him,
do
right. So he
fan
has to
art of the
figure
week.
out how do I stay
he's like
well
this,
within my marching orders
fan
and
art
yet
and that
still
shit.
try to deviate from the
fan
pictures
art
I've
and
been
that
shown.
shit.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's going to be interesting to see. I think, like I said, in
Getting
the
ready for
game,
fan art of the week. I got
we're still kind of fresh from like getting him
picture.
closer to its objective, but given some time,
I feel like we're going to be
I don't really
retiring
know how
Ford
warlocks
shirt for a
work
bit.
if you
Not
don't
retiring
obey
fully,
your
but
patrons'
there's going to be a
marching
good
orders,
while.
so I don't know.
We
we'll
ain't
see.
dealing with this.
I don't know.
Steve, do we know how that works?
It'll take a while to explain it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Solid.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy to think
Yeah.
about, isn't it?
And I'm sure people on different social media things will try and tell me what happens. I'm not going to read it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to look. So don't tell me.
Oh boy.
Travis, are you cuddling with Kiri?
Kinda.
Is that what this is?
Cuddling with Kiri is our new
Is that
show.
what this is?
It's coming out.
Don't you be mean.
Is that what this is?
This is how I hold my own
Travis
at home.
has to go sit in the corner.
I'm
The
sure.
fact that
That
Travis
goes
didn't
crazy.
know that was
Hold him by
Kiri.
the-
Right. I'd kill myself. He's
Hooded
so
sweatshirt.
wonderful.
Taliesin, Asahi
Travis,
Azub
you are-
Main wants to know.
Cornered. Punishment.
Try.
Hey, Asahi.
You know, then I get tweets. It's like, you've never seen the obscure anime Sunflower 93? You know, that's where my name comes from. I'm like, no, I've never seen it.
I was hoping you were going somewhere.
That's great.
Caduceus has mentioned in a
happens
couple
all
of
the time at the
episodes
arcade. I
that
kid
he
you
likes how
not.
Caleb smells. Is
At
this
the
just to
arcade,
refute
people
the
always
teasing
use,
from
like,
the others, or does he find
code
something comforting in
names or
Caleb's
handles.
smell? Like
And people be like, "Oh,
Neela.
you've never
Was
seen
it Neela?
Brad?" Something like that.
With her smell?
Something I
What are
never
you
heard of, and
laughing
I heard
at,
them a
Max?
lot.
That was 26 episodes ago. Like Neela with her smell.
I've actually often just
smell bag.
assumed that Caleb smells a little bit like peat moss.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just
Not
peaty and dirt.
manure,
Not
like
manure.
fertilizer.
No, Pete
but
Moss,
like,
the tennis
earthy,
player.
just from
Pete Moss.
just from Pete Moss.
Pete Moss, yeah, I saw him at Hollywood Bowl.
Soil in his hands.
Yeah, I would like because he's got the pocket full of weird things that he
He
uses. and
smells
they're all
like
kind
the
of,
famous
interesting.
hockey
I don't-
player-
I think that
tennis
it's
player.
more of the teasing that he smells bad. I don't think he actually
Moss.
does.
Sandalwood fragrance.
That would be amazing. But I actually think it's legitimately from a. No, I think he smells pretty good. I don't know.
Yeah.
Earthen fella. Yeah.
He smells of
Appreciate
nature.
Liam like hitting his breaking
If you
point with that last
lived in
episode.
it
He'd be like,
for
"You
a year
have
without a bath."
to admit that I smell fine now.
Yeah, no, and like I think
Honestly,
Liam is
the
always,
whole
and it's not like a
Caleb
sexy thing, like,
stinking
ooh,
thing,
hey, but like it's like no.
I feel like we
he's
haven't
great.
really
Compliment
done it
a
as
fellow
often,
on his-
nearly
I
as we used
will say he
to.
doesn't-
the
he
point
doesn't
where
feel
like
that way, though,
it's
but
so
yeah.
far and few between. I don't even really think about it.
He doesn't
It'll
have
be
a thing
mentioned.
going
I'll
on
be
in
like,
that
oh yeah,
direction, but
Caleb
it's definitely
stinks.
like, yeah,
Try
you're
and
cool.
But like
tell
it's not.
somebody
It used to be all
Tumblr
the
is
time.
welcome to
in
their
the
own
beginning.
opinion, and I'm not going to disagree with them.
But,
I am not going to stop anybody from having a good time with
Everyone
their
can
with
ship
their.
whatever they want to ship.
I apologize.
Nope.
Except
My thing ran out.
female presenting nipples.
Yes, no,
or
Tumblr has a
lithium
really
batteries.
bad problem.
Lithium
Or
batteries.
lithium batteries.
Most couriers have a problem
They'd
with.
crack down on that.
Yeah.
Travis,
Tell your kids.
tell your kids.
You tell your kids.
Here's a screen name for you. Caduceus Clay wants to know.
We've had this before, and it's amazing. Seduces Clay. That is one of my
Shit,
favorites.
that's making it into the game.
I would put that
gonna do it.
easily in the
It's
top
gonna
10, maybe top
How does
5.
Ford feel about the fact that several
We
Mighty
talked
Nine
Pullout
members
King.
think there's a strong possibility of him turning evil?
We got
because of
Arsqueef.
Mikotoa?
We've got
I think it's crap.
Oreo
it's crap.
teabagging
I actually
is my
think
favorite.
Whatever do you mean?
But Seduces
and the
Clay is up
audience,
there.
my
Top 5, I feel like.
God, over the holidays. Thank God for that playlist.
Yeah.
Right? There were some people that were like,
And they're
"Ford's up to
asking
some
what I just
shady
said.
shit.
I have
He's trying
fear
to kill
that this man will go
everybody."
bad.
And he just took a swipe
Even
at
if it's
Santa.
not intentional, I feel like he might not have the ability to restrain.
Travis is trying to kill everybody.
Let's make-
Ford's
let's-
on the up and up.
Let's
Yeah.
make a partition. All right?
Travis is going balls to the wall.
Yeah. I may use our game as a slight stress reliever, but not everything has to be homicide every time.
Oh, okay, cool.
I may have a list of party members that if I have to sacrifice first,
You are
they might be
indeed
at
captain
the top.
of the ball eater, to be fair.
I may be.
You are head ball
All
eater.
right,
I may-
Captain.
Head ball eater.
Well, let's give away some more free shit.
Fan art.
It's fan art of the week.
Fan art of the week. Show me that art, Dad.
I feel like Ford.
This week's fan art winner.
I don't know.
Campaign
that.
2, episode
I was gonna say,
47,
I think he'd get rid
sent
of
in
not
by
first. If he went
Taryn
evil,
Yvonne at Space Captains with the Z. Let's take a look.
let's take a look. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
What?
Oh.
I don't look at. This is great. Oh my God.
I know.
Poke my
Give
head
me a
on
little
Twitter every now
closest.
and then, and things.
Wow,
pop
I
up.
like that.
Oh,
I love the falchion.
that's
I think
great.
you
I
just said
love
what
the
I
curved
said. The
blades.
falchion.
Things pop
It
up.
almost looks
Yeah,
like he's got
that's
claws.
really,
Does he have
really
claws?
Well done. Nice. Nice.
Look,
So
I like
good.
it.
Almost looks like
That's a
claws.
mountain in the reflection. That's really
Mountain in the
pretty
reflection. No reflection by
Thank
Ford.
you to everyone who submitted. Congrats to you, Taryn. You have won this Purple Heart.
Oh my God, it
tabletop
is. I was
tray
just gonna say that's my favorite
from
wood.
our friends at Wormwood Gaming.
In my head, I was like, I feel like that's the Purple
Guys,
Heart,
this
but
is
I couldn't
beautiful.
see.
That's a
From that
Purple
angle,
Heart.
it
That's the
almost
original
looked more
Scanlan
red.
deck.
This is
Yeah.
the
There's the
original
purple.
Scanlan.
with real bits of Scanlan.
I had some thoughts about attempting to snag it for
Smells
Percy,
great.
and then he snagged it for
The
Scanlan.
leather smells
right.
great.
We had a little bit of a,
remember the tip,
back
yeah.
and forth.
I love the sound it makes.
Yeah.
I love the
It
sound.
had like a nice
of
little, yeah. It was like
rolling
up,
into
up,
the
almost like a little.
purple.
Especially when the
It's
golden
lovely.
snitch hits
I
him.
love the sound of Purple Heart. I feel like they're all similar.
Matt still
Maybe
have it?
I could be wrong.
Somewhat
I don't know
like-
the
but, like,
densities
not
of
available.
You
these
better know what
woods.
that is. Don't play like you
Dude,
know.
what if the golden snitch roll was the one that killed Molly?
It wasn't, as far as I
Spoilers.
know. But
Spoilers.
wow,
We
yeah.
talked about that. I don't think it
Spoilers.
was.
Yeah, it
Did
wasn't.
we talk about it?
Spoilers,
think
Molly
so.
died.
I should quit the
If you guys
drinking.
didn't know.
Yep.
You can enter our weekly contest by emailing your GIF or fan art to submit at talksmachina.com.
Danny,
Rules for our contest are available at
I just saw the
critical.com.
glasses that we had at the
I like to
group
say that
party
very,
last week. Lots of cubes fit in those things. I dig them.
That's our website, Travis.
Dig them. Oh, he heard.
Yeah,
I thought
remember
he
the
was
episode where you
Yeah,
and Laura had
plug
no
in.
idea what our website was?
Guys,
Great representation.
very little
of,
sleep. Okay. Very
Baby
little
brain.
sleep.
Yeah, that's true. That was yeah, that was.
month-old.
But I was the jet lagged one that episode.
That's true.
Taliesin,
Yeah.
Kyle Fee wants to know. Caduceus started his sea journey looking like a drowned,
Kyle Fee.
harassed rat, and is returning serenely divining
if
from the
that's right.
crow's nest. What can you tell us about his growth during his recent spate of escapes?
He is a big believer in getting comfortable
Spat.
where you are.
Spat.
Yeah.
And so after a couple harrowing near deaths, he was like, I am not, there was definitely a moment of like, I'm going to decide to not have this be my ocean experience. And I'm going to put active work into being comfortable here and capable here because this is not
might
how
have
the
pointed
clays
it out.
function. We are capable
There is a
people.
very nice
And yeah,
sewed
it was
quilt
definitely
behind
nice
them.
to
My mom
to-
used to do that.
to take him away from the like he didn't want to be the one going like I can't wait to get off the boat. I wanted him to be nice and
Yeah.
this is fine. This
Yeah.
is great.
I can adapt.
Yeah.
Nice.
Roll with the punches.
Yeah, it took a little while and Jester was definitely helpful, but like he's feeling very comfortable on the boat now. So
Speaking of Jester, so brilliantly played by your first wife, Travis, Miss Ginny in a Bottle wants to
By your
know.
first wife.
Ford spent more time than usual checking in
Jester
on Jester this
played-
episode.
By your first
What are his
wife.
motivations for doing so, and how does he feel about her subsequent reactions? Has he noticed Knott's behavior whenever he speaks to Jester?
I don't know if he really notices Knott's reactions because Ford doesn't pay attention to Knott.
See?
Kidding.
I get it.
no,
But
there
that's what I
wasn't a
said
lot of
earlier.
time
If anybody is going to
check in
be
with Jester after the whole
unintentionally
dragon
killed by
thing,
Evil Ford or
and
hurt,
between
I think
both of them
Knott
kind of
would be
bamfing in and
first
out
in
with
line,
Blink
just
and,
based on their
wanting to make
interaction.
sure she
They're
knew
always
that everybody was leaving, and then him
jabbing each
disappearing,
other.
and then her popping back in and doing the whole thing, and then seeing that sort of go down.
and Knott is egging on Jester to.
you know, he
he
feels
loves
bad,
you.
and I think-
He loves you.
I
think
feel
it's
like
hilarious.
Jester's been just a little bit quieter. So when that personality that's so bubbly and exuberant and full of energy, when you can just tell a difference, I think it's just natural to check in and go like,
Is everything cool?
yeah, hey, you okay? Yeah.
She was like clearly worried about you and all that with like praying to the traveler and all that, and you could hear it.
Yeah, and I think it was pretty clear that like dismissing a lot of concern doesn't really go a long way. It's much better to acknowledge the concern and just make it a part of your reality, right? Instead of going like, no, that's not a real thing, forget that.
Yeah.
Go like, I hear that, I hear what you're saying, I think it'll be fine, but I'll keep it in mind, right? That's sort of the new approach instead of just going like, no, shut up, that's not real. You know, going like, I understand why you're worried about that. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Interesting.
Jester thrives better when she
I
has new
approve
people to interact with
of
all
what
the
you
time.
have
Like
said,
anytime
sir.
we will like come in contact with another ship, it was like, oh, there's, and then
We got the Gilmore
like,
pillow over there.
familiarity is not good. For
I don't know
somebody
how
who likes
often
to
I've
prank.
seen that.
Yeah, I feel like,
we've seen
would you
it,
say that
obviously,
Jester
but
would become
not
more
often.
contained
Almost looks like a
the
South
longer
Park
she is at
character.
sea? Like depriving a plant from
Not,
water?
yeah, not in a healthy way though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think-
that's what I
think,
mean, yeah.
Because every time it was like that tattoo was like that's a cry for help.
Yeah, that plant needs sunlight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously.
Although the tattoos are fucking great.
The tattoos. Yeah.
Oh man.
Tattoos have
good.
become quite a thing, and we can still get
Taliesin.
buffs.
Catty Wampus wants to know. What does that mean, man? Everybody's mom says that. That's all catty wampus, but like, what does it mean?
It means-
Is it Latin?
No, hold on.
It's
Hey,
Latin,
Siri,
Daniel?
what does cattywampus mean?
I found something on the web about what does cattywampus mean. Check it out.
You check it out. I asked you to.
This is compelling internet.
Ridiculous.
Taliesin, is there an in-character reason you've been using
Cattywampus.
Path
I've
to the
heard
Grave
that
primarily
beyond
with
this because
Yasha?
we've heard this name before
What does
on the show.
Caduceus think of her now that
I don't know
he's heard
myself.
more of
I've
her
heard it a
story?
few times in my life.
Oh.
Cattywampus. I'm assuming it's like
His
a
attitude
crybaby.
towards her hasn't
That's what
really
it sounds like to me.
changed.
Stop being
I
a
mean,
cattywampus. Like a whiner, like a whiny
From
baby,
his
a
perspective, it was nothing he
crybaby.
wasn't expecting.
That's what I thought. I
She's-
assumed my whole life.
Goth kids happen for a reason. You know?
If I've heard it
Like,
once.
no, I mean, like, of course your heart was broken. Look at you.
Yeah.
That's a lot of black that you're wearing.
Yeah.
But honestly, he's aware that I mean, like, it's honestly from a character perspective, it's because he's aware that she's the one who's up front, and he's just trying to make it as easy for her to move around as possible. It is very it is a tactic. It's just better for her to have that available to her. But no, he is very aware that she is still in mourning for a lot of things, and as soon as he feels that she is ready to talk for reasons, yeah, they're going to have a long talk about that. But he's been giving her space.
That can't have anything to do with her not
she's
being present.
quiet.
Things have been settled.
I'm
Yeah,
really
I want to have that
interested.
talk with Matt. I want to have that talk.
Yeah,
I was going to
I'm
say,
really interested in
that's
that
pretty much what I was
relationship,
saying.
'cause
You
the
don't want to have that
Molly
talk with Matt?
Yasha relationship was so interesting, and we barely got to scratch the surface.
and,
That's
like,
kinda
there's
what's
chunks of
up
it that
with-
only
that's
the
why
two
I've
of
said
us know, and I'm
Yasha
like,
Yeah.
yeah, that'll be
Is
interesting.
more
Ashley
towards
got
the
us
back
into
of the
hit and run
line,
when she
only
was here.
because
She hit
they're
us
so
I was
less
I was so pleased.
She does
than
that
the
quite
other
well.
characters on the table because of obvious reasons.
Why did you put this?
And I
many
don't want to
fingers
know
up,
them
Max?
until Ashley
10
Johnson
minutes.
By the way,
he's
Caddy
been
has a
doing
chance
that for,
to
this is the
fully
96th
sit down
episode
and,
of Talks Machina, by the way.
you know,
He's been doing
do
that for
her thing.
96.
Wait
I've
till the
never known
very
what
end
he's
when she's
talking
around more.
He was
I know what that one means.
for our show earlier today.
That
I know what
gesture
that one
you
means.
understand very well.
That one I get from the crew.
Cattywampus means askew, off kilter, or not quite right.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
literally said askew.
I don't know
Danny,
that
but
you
you
did.
have to understand, we don't pay attention to you.
And there's no instant replay here,
No.
so nobody's
Askew?
going to
Oh, so it's literally like, I thought it was,
specific
I
form of
honestly
askew
didn't
it
think
is,
it was
though.
even
I'll have
like
to
a
look that up
real
later.
thing.
How
I thought
many
it was just
different
a
forms
saying
of
that
askew
people
are there?
Obviously, you
said
wouldn't need
throughout
two
the
words for
course
it
of
if
my
there wasn't a
life.
difference between
Like
askew and cattywampus.
tomfoolery. Like,
Well, no, that's a man
you ever hear
who
tomfoolery before?
what the
I've
fuck
heard that
he's
a million
talking
times in my
Been around
life.
for a few years.
Cattywampus
paid
to me
attention
was
to
like
language. It's
tomfoolery.
important.
I didn't think it'd be an actual defined term. It's kind
Jordan
of like
Springer wants to know,
a thing.
son of
You just
Jerry.
kind of know.
After he that's what it says here. After he confessed that he is not sure if his feelings about the temples come completely from him, is Ford now scared that Uk'otoa may be controlling him now, or may do so in the future to get him in the
100% what I think. That's what I think.
Yet,
Some Bandersnatch stuff right there.
it is
Bandersnatch, isn't this?
it is impossible to forget, especially as a player, that Matt. You know, we talk about in games when you go to a cutscene, it's hands off, and then when the cutscene's over, you go back hands on. That Matt took me hands off of a moment when Ford came across that first sphere, and Ford just walked up and grabbed the sphere and pushed it into his chest, and that shit just happened, whether I wanted it to or not. I haven't forgotten that, but
Yeah.
that's the only time
So it
that
was
it's
his choice.
happened.
Yeah, but it all started by his.
So it's hard to say
Choice.
that
That's all you
couldn't
need.
happen again.
If that's all,
But
I
Ford
mean,
is feeling pretty confident that he's
he's like, that's the only time
he's
it
in
happened. That's all you
control because
need.
he has been, except for that one moment, and I haven't forgotten it. I just don't know if it will happen again. And I don't know if it was because Matt was like, I'm not going to let him fuck this one up. Let's do this right, or if it was something
He
else.
trusts you more
I
than
think it was
that.
giving you a
It could
blueprint
be-
to move forward.
A choice.
Hey man, I need
That's
it
fine.
sometimes.
I agree.
Because
I'll
if
sit
Matt
there
just
and
had it
I'll just
happen,
puzzle.
player.
then you have to
He trusts
assume,
you
like
as a
he
player.
said, that
Just
Matt
because
just
you come
is like,
across like a total
I'm not taking a
dipshit in
chance.
real life,
You're doing this, or
doesn't mean that
it
Matt
will
can't
have
see past that
effects.
into who you
It
truly
will have
are, man.
outcomes.
Thank God, somebody does.
Oh no. I'm sure Laura
Thank you.
does.
Thank you.
I'm sure she did at the beginning.
Yeah.
Taliesin.
Yeah.
Caitlin Herbin wants to know. Caduceus and Jester both have very personal relationships
The
with
most
their deities.
normal name of the entire
Was
show.
Cad also a
Caitlin
lonely
Herbin.
kid, and did that affect the development of his relationship with the Wild Mother?
No, he was not a lonely kid.
Yeah, I was going to say,
No.
you mentioned before that, yeah.
Oh yeah, he had parents, he had siblings, he had aunts. There was a lot going on, and there were
all the people that he killed and buried in the garden.
tons of them. I mean, no, but like, yeah, no, like surprisingly social for people who lived that far out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, no, he was not. He had a very nice childhood. It was pretty chill.
Good question.
I mean, sparse but pleasant.
Have you ever played a D&D game with somebody who was like, my character's mute?
I've played a mute character.
You have, Danny?
Yeah.
Did you?
I played a rogue dwarf who had her tongue cut out, and she couldn't talk.
So how did you communicate with the party?
One of the characters had message and would send a message to me, and you can do that without speaking. But she also she also had a best friend,
Sign language?
Becca Case,
Oh yeah.
and who could kind of like, they had just known each other for so long,
Sign
they could kind of
language.
communicate with each other.
Okay.
So she was kind of my translator, and then the other character also had message.
Yeah,
I want to know, did
game
she
with one of the players in
start
Vampire
with her
game.
tongue
No, it
out,
wasn't
or
me.
did it
Or,
happen
no, the player wasn't, but the character was.
mid-campaign or something? Like she could have started with a tongue
You can do a lot,
and
and
lost
I
it, or did you
definitely-
just
I even
start
know
with no
some,
tongue? That's cool too.
Telepathy also very present in Vampire.
Interesting.
Or like the ability
Not,
to.
you cannot. We didn't in that game. He would literally just communicate.
Like in
purely
Walking
through
Dead, the
facial
most
expression.
recent seasons,
Like, you
I
wanna
haven't
do that? You
finished
go,
it. I think I had like 2 seasons left.
He was an old man too, so it was
But
always
one of the
his
more
fault.
recent ones, there was a deaf
Yeah,
girl.
yeah, it was-
They had to like
There was a
communicate
lot
through
of
sign
crazy
language
eyes.
and
There was
stuff.
a lot of the Honey Heist Drew Barrymore crazy
It was
eyes
a old
talking.
man vampire with an ice cream truck. It was so wrong.
Nice.
Or so right.
Or so right.
So
An
right.
old man vampire with an
We'll
ice
talk about
cream
that game a lot
truck.
today.
Travis,
Yes.
artist someday wants to know: is Ford satisfied with the answers he's found regarding his
Artist
personal
someday.
journey, or is he frustrated with more questions?
I'm frustrated.
Yeah,
I'm frustrated.
I got that sense. I got that sense this last episode.
No, and not.
I can
not-
see the
certainly not with
frustration,
Matt
but
or
I
the DM or
think
anything
we
like
got
that.
a
You can
lot.
tell me.
Yeah. Well, no, it's
Did
just
we
a
though?
natural frustration from
Things have
following a
happened.
set of clues and then
I don't know how
having
much
them lead to
information
really
we
nothing.
have.
I mean, there is a final piece of the puzzle, but I don't want to complete that bitch. You
No.
know,
Yeah, that's the
a
problem.
Yeah.
We don't really have
knows what
answers.
you
We
have to
just
swallow.
know like what to do.
Yeah, I mean,
We don't know
I
what
think-
it does
I think he
necessarily or
understands
how
that-
it's going to happen.
You know, he's going to be resigned to just spending time with these folks, and maybe if something pops up along the way, then great. But otherwise,
Oh, we're gonna have a talk.
he might have to make his peace with not knowing where the man that showed him the most kindness in his life ended up. So yeah.
Is he still the man who's shown him the most kindness in his life?
Absolutely, and to be clear, it wasn't necessarily kindness. It was just
Taking him in, raising
attention
him.
and care,
Yeah.
not necessarily kindness.
Yeah, just being there when you needed
interesting.
somebody.
We all
Raising
need a little
you,
attention and
showing
care,
you
don't we?
guidance.
This one's for both of you.
Wow.
There was nothing. That was just a genuine statement.
But we
of
know
like,
how Brian is.
This is
You just know because it's Brian. You just
So
know.
much guilt in that.
Look at Brian.
Trusts your face.
Hilarious.
nobody trusts your face.
Hilarious.
Well, with a face like that.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Face of radio, man.
Boy, that is a rough one.
Hey guys,
I mean, look at
Ellie
it. It's
Enderjoy. It's cool though
oh,
because I don't know where
God.
they found it. I don't know where they
I don't
found.
trust the beard.
I'm
I
telling
don't know
you,
where they
it's
found a
gotta
George
be.
Michael
the beard.
action figure.
Is it Sharpie or is
It's
it
got to
other
be a
stuff?
It's a
Backstreet
little
Boy,
bit of
guys.
Sharpie,
Brian, you saw older
which
pictures
shows
of
mine.
Brian. Brian in
wish I
older
had
pictures
one.
had
Can you find me
kind of
that
like
shirt,
a boy band
Because
look.
that's Photoshop. The glasses.
I don't mean that
have.
insulting.
Outfits
Like
for all
I just like the way his
Wait,
hair
you wanna
was.
know
He's
what's
very
great?
well
On the back it
manicured.
says-
I feel like I've
As a
seen that
On the
compliment,
back
I
it
feel
says
like, because he's my kind of
there's
guy.
There's three sayings that
That
you
is
can have
such
this,
a New
this
Kids on the
doll do,
Block,
and the
in
three
sync
are we
kinda
on the
looking
internet?
doll.
Stay turned, and I've got warrants. Are the
Yes.
three things that.
True to form.
Stay
Well done.
turned, and I've got
Cut to every
warrants.
camera, but Daniel's there.
Three
Zach.
things
Just
he
make
says.
sure we-
I gotta look it up after.
sure
I'm
we
not even
make the
kidding.
most of that
There's a good
segment.
chance.
This one's for.
There might even still be
Love you,
NSYNC
Zach.
dolls in the attic.
Oh, you know
My
what? He
sister had a
left.
bunch of that kind of stuff.
This
And
one's
I
for
feel
both of
like,
you. This is
oh
from
look, someone
Ellie-
just subscribed.
Ellie
You're
Enderjoy.
lying.
Cal subscribe to the channel.
Ellie Enderjoy.
That's
How do you
someone
feel
just
about the
actually
prospect of
subscribed
returning to
while
the
we're
Empire
watching
with the
this.
threat of the war having seemingly increased in the time you have been away? Do you think it would be safer to stay away, or are you more worried for those in the group who have close ties in the Empire, such as Bo and Not?
I kind of just don't even want to deal with the war until it's inevitable. Like there's part of me that just wants to just keep moving as far away from the real world as humanly possible.
Yeah, I kind of want to.
Sounds hard,
I
Liam
want to see
O'Brien.
the fringes of the war.
I
only
would like to
because,
see the fringes.
Ford hasn't seen it.
Yeah. I don't
Right.
want.
I don't want to get
I'm sure he's the one
involved. I
that's
don't want to
like-
get too
he's that
close
stupid
where
kid
we
that, like climbs up
are
to the top of the hill
involved
and
by
wants to get even
no
closer
choice
to the
other
enemy
than we're
encampment
just
that he
there.
stumbled upon instead of running back to the village to tell
But I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind checking out the outskirts,
but
watching from a
I-
distance,
I'm
seeing
more
what's
worried
up.
about people that have
Just
you
for
know, family
historical-
and ties there. You know, and it was
knowledge.
it was really fucking hard to be like, Can we go down to this last temple now that we know for a fact that the war has spread to your homeland? Like,
Yeah.
Cool.
We're not really. I mean, like, but we're not really a group of people who are that attached to where they come from.
I don't
That's my
I
thing.
don't know. I guess not.
It's not like in my mind. If we had
Well, I mean, that's why the
families,
conversation
like
with Bo
loving
is so important,
families,
because
I'd be
think it
like,
was
guys,
worth
we got to go
prodding and going
warn
like,
our families and
I
our
get
people
it.
and stuff.
Your
No
heart
one really
exterior
cares.
is clear. Is that really you? Do you really feel that way about your parents? You have a baby brother. Do you really not give a shit about him? Really?
True.
And it
with
was
Bo.
nice to see her go like, I hadn't fucking thought about that before. Like, okay, so you are.
That's
human.
kind of where I'm going.
Right.
Like,
Well, I mean, just
war
to be
is
real,
broken
though,
out.
right? Like, to hear you
Families
have a,
could be in danger, and
I don't know
no
how
one.
old her younger brother is. If she was
cares.
just like, no, I don't give a shit.
But no one really has anybody to care about. I mean, we're going back to
But for her to
Nicodranus.
say
We'll
yes
see
was good.
Ruby.
Yeah, it
Ruby's
was. Although,
probably
I mean,
fine.
like, I'm also, I'm fascinated by Bo as a character, and I'm really
too.
enjoying.
Bo's
watching
my
him.
favorite.
And like,
Not-
I
Said no one's really worried about
There's
her.
part of me that like I was not sure
mean, there's
how
just
she
so
was
much-
going to go for that, because you can kick a dog enough times that it'll bite anybody.
100%.
Hey.
And like, you know,
Hey.
I'm still working on it. He ain't there yet.
We used a
Yeah.
kick
But
in the
no,
dog
take it
reference
easy.
with this beautiful.
Like, yeah, like
look at
I
this.
definitely,
Look how
I definitely
nervous
like,
it is
and
now.
especially because it's
The
D&D,
dog is
there are plenty of
terrified by
characters who are like,
Taliesin's
oh no,
comment.
my parents made it clear that if I ever see them again, I'm just gonna like
Yeah.
punch them, rob them, and leave them in the street alive because we're family.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, that's my favorite of
Exactly.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I did that to my
Oh,
family.
we might be done.
They've told us.
That's all the
I
time we
did that to
have for
my
tonight.
family.
Public record.
They told us it's
Googleable.
public
How
record.
did Name Drop go today?
It was a lot of fun.
I love that show.
Yeah, we over-prepared chunks of it and under-prepared others, which is classic us.
Yep.
But I'm looking forward to next week.
We
Oh,
over-prepared
Mark,
and
I'm not sure
No,
where-
no,
underprepared.
next week. It's next week.
Oh,
It's next
wow.
week.
It's
Yeah.
next
That's
week.
right.
Okay, I'm at the mercy of other people.
Thank
so
God we have Danny to
Yeah.
remind us about everything.
I would not be able to function without Danny.
Yeah. All right. Well, Thursday night, episode 48. Yeah.
48. We're going to start 48 right after I leave. I'm going to put on my knot
Almost
shirt.
to 50 episodes.
We're going to watch 48 right after this.
man.
At least part one
Almost
and the
there.
Patreon hour.
Feels like it took
I
a
might
lot
have to take
longer
a
to
break
get to
because
50 in the
football's
first
on
campaign.
in an hour.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
So I might
I feel like we
watch
got here fast, and also we covered
half.
more ground by 50.
Yeah.
It's a
that's
short
true.
one, guys.
But that's, you know.
Well, you guys
we'll
eat
do
a
that.
lot less snacks
Part
now.
one and two are
Made
going to
out
be
by
less
episode 50 last
than 10
campaign.
minutes.
I'm just
I might stretch it just
I'm
because it's
just
so
Really?
short.
You're gonna lean on us in the makeout department?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you
her.
met me?
All right, give us your number one. Give us your number one makeout request. What's the number one you want to see? Mugdown City.
Ford and Jester.
Ford and Jester, of
Give me
course,
number two.
right?
No, that's too obvious.
Number
That's
two,
too obvious.
Yasha
Give us
and
number
Bo.
two.
Yasha Bo.
Bo and Yasha.
Boom.
I'm also into that
I'm
one.
also very into that.
Yasha
one.
Bo. Number
not yet,
three,
though. But the Bo and Yasha needs to be more of like a build-up because we found
Even
out that there's
though
like all of this like
Caleb
stuff
and
with their,
Knot
like,
have
old
like a
wife and,
father-daughter
like,
type
we don't want a
relationship,
keg
I feel like they're
situation
way
with,
closer in
Yasha. We
age,
do not want
and
that.
it
like
wouldn't
that Danny's
surprise
like
me
the
if they're
sommelier,
at some
yeah,
point.
the
But I
Tal'dorei
also feel like
hookups.
that's
Yeah.
weird to
Mighty
even
Nine.
think about because I look at
Roll
them like
Smuts,
father-daughter.
that's her, blog.
But I don't know.
Danny's
Not,
blog.
not.
Man, I wish my blog was
Discuss
that.
that.
clever.
Discuss. I'm curious what
Well,
people
I'll
think
give
of
you
that.
that name for
Thank you.
$10,000.
But I definitely am Yasha Bo.
Stick around for Talks
don't
Machina
Ford
After
Jester.
Dog on projectalpha.com. I would like to thank Travis. I would like to thank Taliesin for joining us.
It was
Episode
great.
48 airs this Thursday. Until then, please don't forget to love
Stay
each other.
tuned, my friends. Go
Don't
look up
worry.
Brian's In Sync doll.
It's almost Thursday.
Nice.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, that's a record.
All right, guys, that's it for Talks Machina, episode 47. What a great episode. We got Taliesin, we get Ford. I was thinking who would make more sense. I figured Travis had to be part of it. It's the end of Ford's journey. The only way I could see Travis not being part of it was if Travis could not make it for whatever reason. But there we go. We got Travis. I'm thinking what could be a good second guest, because usually they try to match them up. Sometimes it's inevitable they just have somebody there, and it's always great regardless because it's our main group. All of them are main characters. It isn't like, oh, well, they weren't there that day, except for Ashley Johnson. But regardless, Taliesin, great second guest. He was responsible for basically single-handedly taking the other ship down that was chasing us with one roll. Divination, great. I like that they talked about it because I hadn't remembered him use it either. And they were like, no, he's used it before. Danny was like, I don't remember it. They specifically said it was back when we were deciding which dock to go to. Darktoe was where we went. So this is way back before the Plank King. So he did use it way early on. So it had to be like, I don't know, 5 to 10 episodes ago. What does that mean? What do we do with that? It doesn't matter right now because we've sidelined Ford's story, but we got to ask a bunch of crazy questions. We've gotten a Brian Foster doll. Tell me that isn't Backstreet Boys or NSYNC. I can't remember specifically, but it's one of the two. It has to be. I don't know where else you'd get a finely groomed male doll that looks like that. Even with the pull string, I feel like if I had to guess, I'm pretty sure it was NSYNC. Besides that, we have one of the shortest, if not shortest, episodes coming up. Episode 48. The beginning is only like an hour and 25 minutes, and then the break, and then the live stream. So the live stream will be probably over 3 hours by the time we do the intro and exit. But part 1 and 2, I feel like I did the math and it's like 8.5 minutes each. And it's not centric. I said I already got the thumbnail ready. I saw Sam Riegel with a backpack look very sad. I'm going to go get my Not shirt. We're going to jump in. You guys want to see more of what I do? Full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons out of what you're seeing. Hundreds of exclusives you'll only see on Patreon. The link is in front of me. If the link doesn't work, it's in the description below. Monetization has been turned off, which shuts off the links. If you can't click the link, go in the description. Hundreds of movies, hundreds of shows. We just started Peaky Blinders, Person of Interest, Doctor Who, Legend of Vox Machina Season 2, The Last of Us is on Sundays. Patreon hour exclusive of every episode of Campaign 2. Check it out. If not, comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.